Yo, what up? It's your boy Monsoon's the coolest cat you heard thus far with the shits. We are either shooting the shit, starring some shit, or picking up what shit left off. Yo, my man Bubba Ball couldn't be in the studio with us today, but we got a very special co-host, my man Terrence from the Chicago Clubhouse Podcast, and our very special guest on today is a Chicago legend. Not only is this man a Chicago legend, man, this man is a comedic legend. If I said that word right, and if I did, don't even worry about it. Yo, anyway, y'all put your hands together for my man Damon Williams. Let's get it.
What's up?
How you feel, bro?
Man, just moving around, as you can see, out in the vehicle right now to do this.
Out in the fields, not on the plantation, man. We celebrating Juneteenth, man. We ain't on that. Not
Indeed.
at all. Hey, man, so anyway, man, we like to do a check-in, man, with our guests, and since you're the very special guest, man, how your week been, bro?
Been a good week, man. We had a weekend at Riddle, so I was home, got a chance to do my home club.
Okay.
Friday and Saturday with some Chicago greats, like my man M. Dubs, Marvin Phipps. Look him up, Marvin D. Phipps, M. Dubs. Hilarious, bro. Killed it all weekend. And one of the veterans I started with back in the day, Cherie Luckett, also hilarious. And had some drop-in. So, every Friday and Saturday I run Riddle's Comedy Club to be at a bar.
That's what's up. And so I was reading somewhere, and correct me if I'm wrong, you co-owner, am I correct?
You're wrong. I ain't taking that overhead. I bring the funny. I am the promoter and I co-manage whatever, but
okay.
As far as ownership, I won't even claim that because, our stuff, sometimes our people are temporary. So if they decide Riddles fell off, I can just move my crowd elsewhere and go elsewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, so with that being said, bro, how important do you think it is for Chicago comics to have input and have a voice when it comes down to these venues?
Actually, every comedian at some point in life should have a venue that he is the promoter and the curator of, so that you can learn the other side of the business. That way when you, as you are seeing in the game, you've seen every level of it and you've seen the different aspects and behind the scenes that give you a greater appreciation for what the club owners or promoters go through. Also puts you in a more informed position when it comes time to negotiate your deals, because you know exactly what it entails. Plus, it gives you a chance to put yourself in the forefront with a fan base, and it challenges you to have more material, because if you have a recurring audience, you can't keep doing your same jokes, and that will propel you if you really take it serious.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So with that being said, you got like 27 years in the game?
29, actually, to be 30 in November.
Oh, wow.
Yep, since I first touched the open mic.
That's a long time.
Yeah, my son's whole life, my son's whole life I've been a comedian.
So how have you managed to maintain the passion and the motivation to keep going and to be successful at
it? Bills. The Bills never give up, so the game can't stop. But, I enjoy what I do, and I've been able to transition during different eras. Like, I was a part of the renaissance of Black comedy with Comic View and Def Jam. That created the whole situation as far as everything that's being done now. But I kept relevant by doing radio here and there. So that kept me in touch with my fan base. So in between TV tapings, like when Def Jam went away and Comic View went away, and then they tried to come back, and then Showtime is the Apollo, those were our vehicles. I did a lot of college work, a lot of universities. So in like the late 90s and all throughout the early 2000s. So all of those students are now my consumers. So, they're adults, they're prosperous, they're people like yourselves and older, and so they're doing things. So they kind of stuck with me, but I also didn't take the game for granted. I always had my own enterprises where I was the host and promoter of the vehicle of the venue. And that kept me in touch with my Chicago fans. And it also, like I said, challenged me to stay relevant. And then I got on Tom Joyner Morning Show for 8 years, and that kind of reintroduced me to a crowd of people who used to watch Comic View but don't do, Instagram, and they weren't on Vine. When a lot of comedians, a lot of people right now have been made by like DC Young Fly and all them cats. They came up through the Vine and Instagram model, so that was their platform. And so I just stayed, I stayed abreast of it and didn't stay on the fringe.
What do you think you learned from Tom Joyner?
Professionalism for one. Tom is very meticulous about doing a show. Show must go on, have to be on time, and do what you're supposed to do. But the other thing I learned from him was ownership. You know, he owned that show.
Oh,
So,
that's beautiful.
you
That's
know, and
beautiful.
he owned it for years. He sold out his shares in the latter part, sold the majority stake, but he took a big old check home. So
Yeah,
ownership is important.
that's what's up.
That's
That's
it.
what's up. You
Hey,
spoke about go ahead.
I wanted to play a clip of you, a quick clip that's very relevant to today, but it's hilarious. So
I already know.
I'm going to play that, and then we're gonna talk about that a little bit.
Out of control.
Go.
This is ridiculous. Come on, remember when gas was almost $2? You was like, boy, this gas get $2. I don't know, they tripping. I ain't finna buy no $2 gas. Boy, you see some $2 gas now, you would tear your damn car up trying to. You'll be all on the phone. Mama, gas $2. Mama, gas $2. Don't front. This is ridiculous. It done changed my whole way of driving. I used to drive like this. Now I be like, vroom, coast. Let me see how far this pack can take me. Vroom, vroom, vroom. I be looking for hills to go down.
Hilarious.
How do you come up with this shit, man?
Man, that's life.
hilarious.
I didn't just think of everybody who watched that shit like, hell yeah, he's right. And I'm have to do an updated version and say, remember when gas was almost $3? Because
Oh
$2
my God.
is beyond our memory. And that's early
Yeah.
2000. That was a Jamie Foxx production. It was Jamie Foxx Presents Laughpalooza in Atlanta. And Jamie he had just got his Oscar. And so Cedric hosted that in his place. But on that particular tape, and me, J.J. Williamson, D. Ray Davis, Corey Holcomb, we all taped in Atlanta for that show. And that's why I was suited and booted back then. So now when the youngins, when they see that clip, you know, they get the joke, but they like, what is he wearing? That's too big as hell. That was the look back then, you know. So I have to every once in a while I check in the comments and let them know, you know, it's an old ass clip, but it's very relevant.
It's funny that you said that. It's funny that you said that because we was talking to B. Cole, man, and B. Cole complimented you on the fact that you always had nice suits. You know what I'm saying? He said that was one of the reasons why he said he casted you in
Heaven on 7. Yeah.
Heaven on 7. He said because you already had the wardrobe for it. You know what I'm saying?
Indeed. And that's true. But the thing about that, I found out that I got pigeonholed because there's a brother, King B. He does like hood flicks, you know, and they all gangster, you know. So it's all type of shooting, killing, and gang banging. And but he wanted me to be in the movie, and he wanted me to play a lawyer. And I'm like, dude, I'm the biggest G in the whole comedy game. People don't even know my history, all the shit I've done in these streets. And you want me to play the lawyer? He like, yo, suit wearing ass. Like, so, but he eventually gave me a part of, you know, I was a hood figure. And it worked out, but that I knew that was people's mentality. But I believed in the early part of my career, which was the Def Jam era, you know, only a few people wore suits and they stood out. And that was like Bill Bellamy. He was
I remember that.
When he did Booty Call, he was dressed up. And so everybody was into like cross colors and baggy jeans. And, you know, so I wanted to be the opposite, just kind of not go against the trend. And then I realized that people have more respect for people in suits. Like you could be in an establishment. If you go in a place and you have a question, you see a guy in a suit, you automatically think he the owner or the manager or somebody of authority. So plus I was covering for the fact that I was a criminal. So there was a lot going on back then.
That's a lot. It's fucking brilliant though. Go ahead.
Mr. Damon, let me ask you this. Just a few minutes ago, you said that you put in 25 years in 29 years in the game. So when you see people like T.I. want to do comedy and say he needs an opening act, how do you react to that?
Well, you know, he learned the hard way that you can't just jump in here and start at the top.
Yeah, sure did.
You know, and I don't care if you're naturally funny. I don't care if you're famous. If they give you enough time on that stage, the truth will come out.
Yep.
And you know, so there are comics that have been doing it 5 and 10 years and don't have a 25, 30-minute set. So for him to be on that show and to get stuck out there on that island with a hostile crowd, opposite of his demo. You know, he's Southern, they was East Coast. Like they not even probably T.I. music fans in New York.
Yeah.
So I had no problem with it. If he sold the tickets and people came to see him, fine. Go out there and do your thing. But you're cheating the audience and you're cheating the game by not having the experience to really pull it off. So what I recommend a person like T.I. would do in a situation like that is do T.I. Presents. He comes out and hosts, brings some seasoned comics with him. And I think he has been doing that as of late. And then you get your jabs in and learn on the fly while you're hosting. Because people don't have a whole lot of expectation for the host when they come to a comedy show. They think you are the host, even if you're a comedian. I've had many people come up to me after hosting major shows and say, man, you was funny as the comedians. When you gonna do your comedy show? That whole shit I did was my comedy show. I just broke it up in host position and deferring to the headliners in my position. So, you know, I have no problem with anybody jumping out here like, because if I decide I want to rap, I wouldn't want T.I. saying, man, he ain't put in work. He can't rap. You know what I'm saying? Let me try and figure it out. But I wouldn't try to headline and follow, you know, Lil Baby Uzi and, you know, you know what I'm saying? And Baby, and then say, I'm coming up last and finna blow this up with my fresh new rap. So that's the thing. It's protocol.
Right. You got to respect Lil Baby Uzi.
Yeah, but I wouldn't. I think I could follow Uzi. Lil Baby, he cold. Uzi, I don't think.
You know what, dude?
I think I struggle to have, man. I got bars.
And to this day, man, I'm still trying to figure out. I'm still trying to figure out what it is about Lil Uzi Vert, bro. And I'm like, huh? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to figure out is he just bi, or is he just bi and short, or he just bi short and weird? You know what I'm saying? Like all types of.
No.
I'm just saying though, bro. I know it's Pride Day, but I'm not discriminating. I'm just trying to figure out what's going on with him. Real talk.
To be honest, I just use him because his name is funny. Honestly, I wouldn't know if Uzi was sitting next to me and his song was on the radio. He would have to say, "That's me," and I'm me. I'm like, "Oh, both of them is you? Oh, okay." Do your thing, Lil Uzi.
I wouldn't either. I wouldn't.
But I don't want you. But you can't be too reckless with a dude that call himself Lil Uzi.
That is
right.
true.
So, yeah, that's the other thing. See, these cats, they sensitive in this game out here. So I watch what I say. I watch my mouth on the net nowadays. No disrespect. Uzi, I hope you're platinum. And you probably would smash on the stage. I couldn't follow you ever.
Hey, man, so I wanted to ask you about hosting at Showtime at the Apollo. How much do you think your Chicago comedy experience helped you with that gig? Because I know they brought.
You are exactly right. That's exactly, I believe, how I got it. Because I used to host all the shows here. You know, I hosted all the rooms, all the clubs. So when people like Leon Rogers and Marcus Combs, may he rest, we just lost him. You know, D-Ray, Lil Rel, all them cats came up under my tree under shows I used to host. So I've been in all types of rooms. But the experience I had was the thing I tell people, and I learned this in Atlanta before doing Apollo, but I was prepared for Apollo because I knew they could possibly be hostile because they weren't seriously familiar with me. Anytime you're doing a TV taping for a comedy show, they always bring the audience first and they make them line up outside. They put them through all type of rigmarole before they bring them in. Well, that's the time if you're not famous to get acquainted with your audience. So what I did, I had this chant I used to do when I go and people go ooh, ooh. And I knew in New York they didn't know that, but I wanted to do it on the show. And if you watch some of the clips, they on Pluto TV now. They got an Apollo channel. You'll see I had the audience doing that. I went outside while they was in line, and I met everybody in line. Smart. 5 people at a time. And I started at the front of the line. I said, look, I'm going to be hosting the show tonight. I do this thing, but if y'all don't do it, I'm going to look dumb as hell. Don't let me down when I get in there. So I said, y'all do it. So the first 5 people I told, they did it. Now everybody in line curious what I'm doing. I went down that whole line, 125th Street, and around the corner, and met everybody in there. I was making jokes. I was giving out water. I was like running for office. So when I came into the Apollo, when I walked out, I said, and the whole Apollo said, woo, woo. And all the production staff, they was like, how do they know that? I'm like, I told them. So that came from experience in hosting and shot.
That's dope. That's genius, bro. That's genius.
Yeah.
How was your time on the Jenny Jones show, writing for the Jenny Jones show?
Jenny, between writing, the skits and performing, it came about on a whim. So the year before I did Jenny Jones, that was the year where she had the controversy when they used to do Secret Crush shows, and they did a Secret Crush, and this guy came out to tell this guy he had a crush on him. And the guy he told was not gay, and he was mad about it. So he went back to their hometown and killed the dude for embarrassing them on the show. So Jenny was so traumatized by that she didn't want to do no more deep topics. So she wanted to have a season of fun. And so that's when she started having comedians come on. They started doing makeover shows. So she had me come on. So the show ran long. I was supposed to do 5 to 7 minutes of stand-up. And Jenny Jones used to do stand-up. She did stand-up on Star Search. Yeah, she did stand-up on Star Search. Wow. She's also a drummer too. She's an
Jenny
drummer.
Jones did stand-up?
Jenny Jones, you look it up.
Was she funny?
She won. I think she won. Like, she was on Star Search. So she knew how comedians prepare. So right before my time came up, the show had ran over time. They cut my time from 7 minutes to 2.5 to 3 minutes. So instead of trying to do a set, I talked about the show that day. So all my jokes was about what had just happened. And she came back there. She was blown away. She said, that was amazing. That was all untested material. Can you do that again? I said, I do it all the time. My whole shows, I'm always freestyling. So she had me come back. So after I came back as a comic one more time, then the producer was like, look, we're about to start doing this season of fun, and we want characters to come out and do different shit. So they started giving me multiple characters on the show, or have me come out and roast people who were like, they would have these shows like, I'm too fine, I need to shine, or if I'm so great, why can't I get a date? So it was like real, people like old girl, catch me outside. They had that type of attitude. Yeah. So they wanted me to come and roast them. So I would come and roast people, and then they started giving me all type of characters. I had this situation where I was, they called me Lil D. So I had like a fucking tutu, but I had ball cap, a wife beater, and my shit was manned up, boots and shit. But they miniaturized me, and they could fly me around and sit me on her shoulder and all type of shit. I did about 40 or 50 episodes. Then they transitioned from me to Big Daddy Woo Woo, who was from Chicago, and Rude Jude. Yeah, rest in peace, Big Daddy. And Rude Jude, who now is on XM, who got a show.
Yeah,
he's from Detroit, the white boy. Yeah,
I remember him too. Yeah.
Yep.
What's your thoughts on the Monique and DL Hughley issue?
Monique, she has a stance, and she has a certain esteem about herself that she will not compromise regardless of the circumstances. So I understand her being an Oscar winner and having a sitcom. So when she had a problem with Netflix, she felt disrespected, but it's all about tact. Even if she was correct in saying she deserves more money for her special, it's a way to address that. Even if she felt like, they tried to overwork her for Precious to promote the movie for the Oscars race, it's a way to address that. So you don't go on stage and tell Tyler Perry and Oprah and everybody to suck your dick.
It's not smart.
But right. That's Mo being Mo. She true to herself, so I can't knock her. So when it came to the DL and Mo situation, I kind of blame the promoter on that, because these stipulations are in paperwork. And both of them presented paperwork, allegedly, that stated they were the headliner. Now, on the show with Monique and DL, they're peers. You know what I'm saying? So it's a toss-up on who should close that show, in my personal opinion. And then there's different energies as far as performances go. So if it's my show, I'm definitely going to tell who is where on the show before they get there, so that they already know, so it's no conflict. Because I've been to shows and I get there, and I see the lineup, I'm like, I'm first? These motherfuckers, they ain't, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, they ain't got my stripes in the game, but they might be the hot boy at the time. And we'll have this conversation off stage, and it'll get worked out. One particular really cat that's real respectful to the OGs in the game is DC Youngfly. So I was on a show with him, but it was me, Lavelle Crawford, some more, Tony Roberts, a local guy, Shed G, DC Youngfly. And they had me up before DC. And I'm like, first of all, this was a couple years ago. I don't think he got the chops, because I know what I'm about to do. You know, I'm about to go ham, and if y'all want to keep me in this position, I'm gonna go further ham to establish the fact that I'm the vet. You know,
Right.
I'm gonna go out here and put my dick in them. Period. You know.
Okay.
You know, I'm
Happy
going in.
Friday.
Right. And I'm gonna do that anyway. But sometimes, you know, like if I'm hosting, I have to defer if I know another person's energy is different. But on that particular show, I'm not supposed to be early in the lineup. You know,
Okay.
So they explained to me the only reason why they had moved me early on in the show was because he was having flight issues. But when he got there in time to go up before me, he automatically said, "Oh man, ain't no way I'm supposed to go before the OG." You know, blah 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 blah. So he's very respectful, very humble dude. And now, of course, he's a superstar. Now, if they say, "All right, it's you, DCF," like, I'm going out there because he sold more of the tickets because of that whole phenomenon that is wilding out in 85 South. You know, that man is killing it.
Yeah.
But it's levels to it, you know. So with them two, they're on par with each other. So it should have been a conversation backstage where DL be like, "Look, you know, Mo, why don't you go ahead and do it? Cause you know, I'm DL, you know." But she like, "I'm a queen of comedy," and as she stated, she closed the Queens. He was first on the lineup at the Kings, but you know that should have been worked out on stage. But it comes down to tact. When she went on stage and talked about him and his family and his
That
mom
was
and his
fucked up.
wife, you know, it's going too far. But that's Mo being Mo, and you know, she ain't apologized for it to this day. She did apologize to his family on stage, but told DL he could suck a dick.
Yeah,
Wow.
I saw that. I saw that.
Hey man, I have learned over the years, man, you will never win trying to argue with a woman. Never. I don't care what nobody says. You will never win trying to argue with a woman.
And DL, he didn't. He could have came out because he went out after her. She went out first, said what she said about him, did what she did about him. He, you know, went out and did his show. I don't even think he really literally addressed that.
He
Because
really
there's
did.
no footage of him saying, "I know the fuck she did." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he handled it like a gentleman. And
He did.
even his response when he did clap back on his radio show was very eloquent. DL, I don't know, you know, he say he only got a GED, but he been somewhere reading a lot because his vocabulary
It's
is
impeccable.
it's
As
stellar.
I would say,
great.
impeccable.
Yeah.
Expeditiously.
Yeah.
Hey, what
Indeed.
the fuck does that mean, man?
Expeditiously. I'm still trying to. I feel like I just said in my T.I. verse and in my T.I. voice, it sounds like it makes sense. Expeditiously, you know. Hey, but hey, Damon, I know you pressed for time, man. We really appreciate your time. I just want to do this quick thing with you, real quick.
I got a quick question though before we let him go. I got a quick question, and I know you know it was coming. Did Will Smith alter the landscape of comedy where comedians are now like, "Hey, beef up security. I don't want this motherfucker rushing the stage when I roast his ass because he wearing a zoot suit."
You know what? Ain't nobody thinking about that shit, man. To be honest, Will, you know, that was some Hollywood mess. You know, it was a soft ass confrontation anyway. The fact that, you know, Chris Rock stood there, we wouldn't even be talking about this, first of all, if Chris Rock would have just ducked.
Pretty much. I mean, because you seen this shit coming.
You just told a joke about this man's wife. He walking towards you, and you gonna let him smack you in the face. Duck, square up, something.
Ain't no way in hell.
He go, uh-oh. You can tell
it ain't no way in hell.
Either one of them been in the streets and been in no fights forever, because even Will, for him to do what he did and then turn his back and walk off, proves that he ain't been in no fight either, because they'd have to go to commercial, because I'd have definitely rolled his neck down the stairs. He'd have been in a headlock, and it'd have been a bumpity bump. You know what I mean? I've had a fight like that before, where a dude called me out. We was shooting craps in my mother's house, and you know, back in the day, we was kids. We had cut school. You had respect for people's parents, so he like, step outside if you could, you know. All right, let's go. But he went first. Oops. Headlock down the steps, scraped up his shins, gave him 3 hooks. Fight over.
Wow.
So, but we still have to be conscious, because it may have slightly emboldened people. But here's the thing: if you being funny, ain't nobody approaching. So even if you roasting people, I always tell comedians, just be funny. The bottom line is be funny. So if somebody heckling me, if I say something about them, I want to say something funny enough where they could even laugh at themselves. You know, we get offended when people encroach upon our space because, well, you know, how dare you talk to me while I'm trying to tell jokes about you? You know,
Right.
so a lot of comedians got thin skin. I take it like this. Okay, you want to do this, you understand you messing with a master right now. So I'm gonna roast you, but you're gonna laugh at it because I'm gonna say something so funny about you, you ain't got no choice. But I'm gonna try to diffuse the situation because I don't want to get into a beef or a battle and ruin the flow of the show. A lot of times I'll hear certain things and I'll ignore it until I have to address it. Now there are circumstances and occasions when the person is dead set on distracting the show, disrupting the show, or got a personal situation with you. I had to do rush me on stage back at TNT Comedy Hook back in the South Suburbs. He was from Gary for no apparent reason. And all I could do was scrap. You know, we tussled, we fell, we made a hole in the wall. Security came, snatched his ass up, took him out. His chain broke off, and he was hollering as he was hog-tied walking out because I had some goons. They was like, I lost my chain. That's a $5,000 chain. Should have never said that. He never saw this chain again.
That's a perk.
Wasn't gonna turn it in, dummy. So, but yeah, so I learned through experience, you know, not to take it personal. See, comedians, we take shit personal because we don't appreciate you interrupting our situation. But if you could tell a joke, you got to be able to take a joke.
That is true. Speaking of roasting motherfuckers, man, I seen the roast that you did on Tony Schofield, man. Thought that shit was hilarious, man.
Really? Where was we at? You remember? You know where that was?
I seen it on YouTube, man. I don't know if it was at it was like I think
probably
it was,
Jokes and
no, it was in Chicago, bro. I think it was
Jokes and Notes, maybe Jokes and Notes.
Yeah, that shit. It was some stuff on there, man. I was like, man, if you didn't know this nigga, he should have been offended. But since y'all know each other, but it's like,
oh yeah, we go at each other, man. We had a Dion Cole roast one time. I ain't even gonna do it, man. But it was a lot of things said, you know, that you gotta take it. But Dion and Tony roast each other. One time I remember we was on a flight and they was talking about each other's mother. And I think Tony Schofield said, your mama scored 20 on Hillcrest basketball team or some shit like that. And then he incorporated Dion's name, talking about who's sticking her. Somebody needs to put some D on Cole. And he spelled his name Dion. So he's like, somebody needs to put some D on Cole. She busting y'all ass. Who's guarding Miss Cole? Somebody. Tony's a genius though, because that was, man, I ain't never heard nobody roast somebody that brilliant. He said somebody needs to put some D on Cole. Man.
Wow, that is clever.
Did you watch the did you get a chance to watch the verses on Thursday?
Absolutely. Watched the whole thing like a grown-ass man shouldn't have, but I couldn't turn away. It was the train wreck you couldn't look away from, man. It was a freight train wreck. It was so long.
It was Omarion and Mario. It really didn't matter. I only asked the question that asked this question. Who do you think, I mean, all the rest of the bullshit aside, who do you think could ever beat R. Kelly in the verses? Ever?
Stevie Wonder.
Okay,
Damn.
I can agree with that.
Damn, okay.
I can agree with that. Besides that, nobody.
Okay, besides Stevie Wonder.
To be honest, though, let's be honest. If they're allowed to do all the songs they wrote, produced, and created, it was wasted on the very first verses. Babyface got enough bullets. If you ever go to a Babyface show and he sing all the songs that he actually wrote and produced for Bobby Brown, Boyz II Men, Whitney Houston, Tony Braxton, man, it goes on and on and on. Then his own solo joints, plus the group he was in, plus After 7, he got bullets. Yeah. But Kells his shit is so, you know, for us, Kells is the master. But Babyface, Stevie Wonder would be the only two people I would think could even touch Kells.
Wow, that's good. I never thought about the Stevie Wonder one or Babyface.
I go with Stevie Wonder.
I definitely go with Stevie Wonder.
Babyface, he kind of soft. He kind of soft, man.
I mean, that's why they call him Babyface. But, all right, man. So
you gotta realize the hits he made. Like,
yeah,
I mean, for New Edition, for Johnny Gill, for Bobby Brown, when you gonna see him live, you be like, I ain't know he made that. He made "Can We Talk" for Tevin Campbell.
Yes, yes.
You know, It's a lot of classic. Man, that man got a catalog, dude.
Hey man, it's crazy that you say that because my wife and I went to go see Babyface, and I did not realize that dude had written so much stuff. He had a portion of the show where he just started singing the stuff where he did for other people, and I was blown away. The thing that kind of brought it down for me was, I guess a nigga got too much into it, and he ripped the shirt off, and I was like, that ain't your lane right there, Babyface.
He wrote for Madonna.
Yeah, I was like, dude, you look like a high school principal. You know, out here trying to don't do that.
Yeah, it's time to drop the baby from his name.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And just face it. Hey man, so like I said, man, I know you pressed for time. I just want to do this one quick thing with you, man. First thing come to mind, bro. Let us know what you got. All right. 99 problems, but a blank ain't one.
Joke.
There you go. If no one else is proud of you, you hope blank is.
My parents.
If you hit the lottery for $100 million, the first call you would make would be
to Sprint/T-Mobile to change my number.
God damn. The price of fame is not worth blank.
Family relations. I did not sacrifice raising my son to go to LA and New York early in my career, specifically so that I wouldn't miss out on substantial parts of his life.
That's beautiful. God damn, that's beautiful. I wish I would have appreciated my relationship with blank more.
Jesus. And
okay, I don't want to laugh at that because it's like, do you know something you don't know?
Yeah, because I've done some sinful things in my life, and if I had to pay more attention to Jesus, then maybe I wouldn't have got burnt when I was a youngin. Things like that.
Oh, yikes! Right. Okay. Blank is overrated.
What is overrated? Fame.
Damn.
Yep. When you are noticeable and I'm not even, I don't consider myself famous, but I'm notable. But when you have when we had these masks on and I could go places without nobody saying that's old boy, or hey bro, take a picture right quick, or man, what you doing over here? That because I had some cats out west. I was out west one time. Man, what you doing over here? You ain't too motherfucking anonymous when you can't get Trump, man. They was joking, but they were serious. Yeah, fame is overrated, man. I'd rather be rich than famous, and I'm trying to work on that part because I don't give a damn about everybody knowing me, but I definitely want to be able to buy what I want to buy.
That's what's up. Blank is underrated.
Anonymity, being anonymous. That's the opposite, the flip side of that joke. I mean, that question. But what else is underrated? Time, man. We don't value time enough.
Man, that's a jewel. Wow. That's a jewel right there, bro.
Confucius.
That's a jewel right there. And my last one, man. The best way to be happy is blank.
Be yourself. Be true to yourself.
There you go.
Because at the end of the day, no matter if you putting on airs or pretending, when you get home and it's quiet, or you in that shower and you think about some lame shit you did, it's you and you. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. That's dope, man. Hey, man, not only do we thank you for your time, man, we thank you for them gems you just dropped on us, bro. Real shit, man. Straight up. Man.
Appreciate it. I look forward to looking back at this so I give myself some advice later.
I should have never went out west, goddammit. Damn, I should have never went out west.
Yeah, because that's also where I get burnt.
Hey man, enjoy your time with your family, bro. Like I said, man, I'm a huge fan of what you do, not just for comedy, but what you did for the city, man. I remember going to jokes and all jokes aside, seeing you. I remember saying riddles. And I always knew, don't sit my motherfucking ass in that front row. I ain't no motherfucker. I know not to do that shit.
Yeah, and
your ass roasted.
Comedy is kindler and gentler now. That's the one thing about this sensitive climate we're in with all the hashtags and such. So you're less susceptible to be roasted between people running up on stage and people trying to cancel you. People not bothering the audience as much. But right now I'm trying to transition or elevate as well. into acting more. So I got a couple of films that are
Okay.
on Tubi right now. Heaven on 7, Be Cold, cast me in that one as you stated. Not Another Black movie with Jay Davis. That's a spoof movie. It's goofy as hell, but it's fun. A lot of Chicago people in it. White People Money is back on Amazon Prime, but it was also on Stars. And it's another one, Can't Get Right, which I don't know what they're doing with that one. They can't get right, but it'll pop up at some point because now it's platforms for us, even if you got independent projects that people can see. So
Yes,
look
sir.
out for that. Follow me, DamonWilliamsComedy.com or on at Damon Williams Comedy. And come to Riddles, man. I bring the best to the best. And some people, they might not be famous, but they definitely going to be funny. And it's always just $20. So it's worth it. But it ain't always $20. When I bring bigger names, they ask for more.
And what's the main nights to come up to Riddles?
I do Friday and Saturdays.
Okay, gotcha. What time?
8 and 10:30. You can go to DamonWilliamsComedy.com or RiddlesComedyClub.com or some shit like that. But go to DamonWilliamsComedy.com. That'll get you linked.
Bet.
Got you, man. Thank you, bro. Appreciate the time, man.
Yeah, this was fun, man.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, man.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Right.
I look forward to seeing y'all at Riddles, man. We're doing Leon Rogers' birthday on the 8th and 9th. We close this next week.
We there.
Let's go.
And we paying too.
You ain't got to, but you're welcome to.
Oh shit. Okay.
We said it. We go pay. Definitely.
Say less.
Bet.
Say less. All right, bro. Be cool.
Take care.
Peace.
Yeah, man. That was great, man.
No problem, man. Hey, yo, I gotta say something. Hey, for everybody out there, man, check it out. July 7th, man, at Magoo's. It's Expand Your Brand Night. So basically, for anybody, you want to get in the room with the producers, you want to get in the room with the artists, you want to get in the room with the media individuals, radio cats, social influencers, content creators. Come to Magoo's July 7th. Doors open up at 8 o'clock. It's free. It's free as hell. You know what I'm saying? Come through, tell somebody to tell somebody to tell somebody. Come through and network. It's going to be live DJ, food, inexpensive drinks. We're going to have fun, and we're going to network, and we're going to get to know each other because it's dope individuals out here who should know each other. You get what I'm saying? It may be a producer on your block. You ain't even know there was a producer. It may be a dope ass singer that work at the same job you work at. So we got to get to know each other, and we got to build this community up. So on July 7th at Magoo's, Expand Your Brand Night. Y'all come through July 7th, man.
Where's Magoo's at?
6550 South Menard. It's in Bedford Park, man.
Okay. All right.
Also, the Shit's Radio. Every Monday night, 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. We playing everything, man. We playing everything. Y'all got that music y'all want to get spent? Send it to us at dopemusicshits@gmail.com. Shits Radio, Monday nights, 11 p.m., 1 a.m. And that's it, and that's all, man.
Y'all play everything?
We play everything, man. We play everything. Everything. Everything.
Wow.
Hey, man.
So if I want to hear some Mary Mary, you gonna play that too?
Hey man, we'll play that too. You know what I'm saying? We'll play that right after the G Herbo. Real shit, man. You know what I'm saying? We don't discriminate. You know what I'm saying? God said, "Come as you are," right? I mean, something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that. You know, I probably need to go to church a little bit more, man. But man. Also, man, shout out to the Chicago Clubhouse Network for making all this shit possible. Shout out to my man Terrence, man, for doing this. Hey, bro, we're going to go a long way, man. We're going to do some big shit, bro. This is just a start, man. I appreciate it. I shout y'all out every Monday on the podcast and the radio show, man, because y'all making big steps, and we are definitely appreciative to be a part of it, man. So, with that being said, man, y'all make sure y'all check out the Shits Podcast on Spotify, Apple, iHeartRadio, and all podcasting platforms. We are on there. Look for the logo. You know what I'm saying? You can find me on Instagram at Monsoons to Raw. You can also find me at the Shits Podcast on Instagram. And yeah, holla at me, y'all.
Can I say a few things real quick before we
go ahead, man?
Sign out? July 2nd. Everybody remember the Chosen Few picnic on July 2nd. it's only, well, it was $60, but I don't know. The city of Chicago be tripping, so it might be more now.
Oh shit.
So go to the website. I think is chosenfew.com, some shit like that. It might be like $70 now. I'm not
God
sure.
damn.
But it's still a good time, man. We're gonna have a grill going. It's gonna be house music. You know, it's gonna be good people.
Yep.
It's gonna be a lot of fun.
So the BBWs will be coming out. And I tell motherfuckers all the time, man. The BBWs love house music, bro. I ain't lying. Y'all know I ain't lying. Y'all know I ain't lying.
Hey, make sure you go to Planet Fitness and lose some calories before you
No,
come out.
no,
You're gonna be doing a lot of eating.
No, bro. They ain't gotta lose that. They ain't gotta lose that. Come as you are. That's the motto, man. Straight up.
Hey, who is? I wish I knew some of the names on here. We can give out some shout outs, man, because we got somebody, a Facebook user on here.
That's Ricky Montana.
I don't know if that's his name or
it's a dope ass name. Hey man, I'll tell you this much. I ain't never met a square ass Ricky in my life, bro. Never.
I seen one on TV though. I seen one on TV. Remember Lucy's husband? Lucy.
Even he was cool, bro. He was cool. Even he was cool. Ooh, look at that. I think I know her. Travel Girl Ray. Shout out Travel Girl Ray.
So shout out to everybody in the
shout out to everybody, man.
They didn't sign up with StreamYard to put their name, but shout out to y'all anyway. We appreciate all y'all.
Yes, sir.
And remember the Chosen Few picnic on that's Saturday coming up.
That's Saturday, yeah.
So make your plans. And shit, I mean, I guess. Oh, shout out to my boy Monsoon. I appreciate you having me as a guest host. It was a lot of fun talking to Damon, Mr. Damon. He's funny as hell. Make sure you get out to Riddles. Saturdays when he does, he's gonna do Leon Rogers' birthday.
Oh, that's gonna be dope.
That's gonna be funny as hell.
That's gonna be dope as hell.
That's gonna be funny as hell. So make sure as you get out for that, man. And shit, yeah, that's it for me. So
all right, man. Hey man, we're gonna holler at y'all. We're gonna be out in the streets. Y'all can find us at the Chosen Few picnic next week. And man, y'all got about 5-6 days. Go make y'all appointment, get that pedicure, get that heel. Get that heel taken care of. Get that heel taken care of. You know what I'm saying? Hey man, I didn't notice. I ain't gonna lie, man. I be looking, and I see the toes be right, but them heels, man, them heels on me. Get them heels right, y'all. Get them heels right. Hey man, we catch y'all on the streets, man. It's the shits, y'all. It's the shits.
This has been a Chicago Clubhouse Network production. We out this bitch.
Hey man, appreciate it, bro. Sorry for my late.